Hey guys, we're going to dive back into math today. So we're going to still be looking at expressions. That's the unit we left off with, and we're going to continue back with that. So today we're going to look at simplifying numeric expressions and also take a look at equivalent expressions. So again, if you remember from the beginning of the unit, we talked about how there are two specific types of expressions. There are numerical expressions and algebraic expressions. Today we're just going to focus in on numeric expressions. So as a quick refresher, those are math phrases that contain only operations, symbols, and numbers. There are no variables, meaning there are no letters, and there are no equal signs. So just to kind of give you some examples to bring you back in, um, something like 2 plus 7 times the quantity 3 minus 4 would be an example of a numeric expression. Sometimes in a numeric expression, again, we know that there are no variables, so you may see something like 4 times 7 divided by 2. So you will see more traditional signs like the times sign being an X, and that's okay because again, we know it's a numerical expression, so we know that the X means multiplication and not times. Something else could be 2 minus 4 squared. Exponents are also part of numeric expressions. So again, these are just phrases that contain the only operations, symbols, and numbers. There are no variables, and there are no equal signs. So simplifying, that's the first task we're going to be looking at. So it's the action of shortening a math problem. In numeric expressions, you follow the order of operations to simplify and shorten it to one number answer. So I also put in there also the order of operations, just as a quick refresher. We work with parentheses first, then exponents. Multiplication and division is next, working from left to right. And the last step of your order of operations would be to complete any addition and subtraction operations, again from left to right. So looking at that first example, you should notice that there are parentheses right here, 12 divided by 3. So that would be the portion that we do first. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. Everything else would just drop down. So 48 minus 4. Subtraction is the only other operation that is left. So when we perform that operation, our answer is 44. Taking a look at number 2, a little bit more complex. The first thing that you should draw your eyes are those parentheses because that would be where we go first. So 35 minus 29, and again, grab yourself a calculator. You only kind of need some basic operational tasks, and you would also need a calculator that would be able to have an exponent function. So a lot of phone calculators have that. I believe the calculator on your Chromebooks have that. The Acer calculators have that as well. So whatever device you're working on, you should have access to an exponent. So again, when I'm looking at this problem, again, you should be looking at parentheses first. That would be our first step. So 35 minus 29 gives us an answer of 6. Then we have 4 squared and multiplying as our other parts of the problem. From there, exponents or multiplication, well, according to our order of operations, exponents wins, it comes next. So we would go ahead and do our exponent function. So 4 squared, remember it's not 4 times 2 guys. Squared numbers mean a number multiplied by itself, and the exponent tells you how many times you're multiplying by itself. So 4 squared is actually 4 times 4. And again, you can use a calculator to simplify that. And 4 squared would give you the answer of 16. Then we have times 6. So not as familiar of a multiplication problem, so you could get out a calculator and say 16 times 6 and find your answer of 96. All right, so if you're with me live, we will try these on your own. You can take a minute and go ahead and try. You can pause the video and try those on your own. Okay, if you went ahead and tried these on your own, hopefully you get the answers of 76 for the first one. Again, you would add in the parentheses first and then multiply by 2. So you would get 38 and then times 2, which then gives you the answer of 76. The second one, we have parentheses, so that's where you would go first. You should have found the answer of 42. To kind of break it down a little bit further, to go back up to the problem, 85 divided by 5 is again the parentheses, which we do first, plus 5 squared. Then we would do our exponent, which is 25. So 17 plus 25 is our simplified answer, just down to one number, which is 42. All right, so what do we do if there are parentheses inside parentheses? So we start with the innermost set first. So if we take a look at number one, do you see how 2 plus 16 is grouped inside of this larger set of parentheses? So again, when I say we're working from the innermost first, we would go the farthest in. This is the innermost set of parentheses. So this is where we would start. So 2 plus 16 is going to give us the value of 18. And again, we would just copy everything else exactly how you see it. I apologize, guys. I'm working with a stylus, so I hope my writing is legible for you. Once you get rid of that first innermost set of parentheses, then we still have a set of parentheses, which as we know in order of operations, that comes next. So we're going to work within this set. Now, multiplication and addition are the operations that you see inside. According to order of operations, we would do multiplication first, and then we would add. So 18 times 8 is going to give you the value of 144. And then we're going to go ahead and add one more on, which gives us 145. And I'm going to go ahead and jump down here. And then we have this divided by 5, which was outside of our parentheses. I'm just going to drag it down there. When we divide by 5, we get a final answer of 29. So again, this is just to kind of point out, if you have parentheses inside of parentheses, you're going to work with the innermost set first. So again, here's another example. You should notice that the 7 minus 11 is inside the larger set of parentheses. So 7 minus 11 is going to give you the answer of -4. And it's, again, okay to get negatives. They're part of our world. Then we have plus 15 also. Again, inside a larger bracket of parentheses. And then times 4 squared. So we've got parentheses, we've got addition, and we've got an exponent. Parentheses still come first. So -4 plus 15 is going to give us the value of 9. I'm sorry, it's going to give you the value of 11. Oh. And then we're going to multiply that with 4 squared. Now, exponents would come next. So before we multiply, we have to do our exponents. So 4 squared is going to give us 16. So 11 times 16. Now we're down to one operation. So 11 times 16 is a total answer of 176. All right, so there's one for you to try on your own. Again, if you're live, we'll go over this together. If you are watching this video, go ahead and take a minute to work through that problem. You can pause it. Okay, hopefully you've tried that one on your own. So working through the problem, you should have gotten the final answer of 8. If you did not, this is how you would go about it. So again, innermost parentheses. Whoop, grab my pen here. Okay, so the innermost parentheses is 3 times 11, which would give us 33. It's still within a larger set being subtracted with 9, then divided by 4, and we have a 2 plus out front. From there, still looking at the parentheses, if we take 33 and minus 9, we get 24. Still have divided by 4 out of the back here, and a plus 2 out front. From here, division would come next. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. 6 plus 2, which would give us a final simplified answer of 8. All right, so hopefully going over these examples, you feel a little bit more confident and comfortable simplifying numeric expressions. Again, we've looked at order of operations and expressions in general this year, so hopefully just kind of putting it all together, you feel pretty confident in in simplifying these types of problems. So now that we've practiced a little bit more, we can use this skill to determine if expressions are equivalent. Equivalent in math is just a fancy term for equal. So equivalent expressions are math phrases that have the same or equal value. So if you're given two expressions and you're asked to determine if they're equal or not, you would just need to simplify each side, get it down to a one-term answer, and then determine if you've got two answers that are equal or not equal. And so we would use the equal sign. I think everybody's comfortable with the equal sign. And this is what the equal sign looks like. I'm sorry, this is what the not equal sign looks like. It is an equal sign with a slash going through it. So taking a look at example number 1. So we have 9 plus the quantity 10 minus 2 times 8. So again, working through this problem, we have parentheses here first. So we are going to simplify this portion first. So we have 8 as our answer. And then we have times 8, and then we have plus 9. From here, you should see the operations of addition and multiplication. Multiplication comes first, so 8 times 8 is going to give us 64, and adding on 9. So 64 plus 9 is going to give us a simplified answer of 73. So the expression on the left is the same as 73. It's equivalent to 73. Looking at the right here, we're going to be comparing it to this expression. And the only way we can do that, again, is to simplify it down to one single term and then compare our numbers. So looking at this one, parentheses are first. So 4 times, 6 is 24. And then we're going to, oh, that looks kind of rough. Sorry about that, guys. Divided by 2 minus 5. We've got division and subtraction. Division comes first. So 12 would be our quotient between 24 and 2. Then we're going to subtract 5, and we get the answer of 7. So looking at this first one, 7 and 73, definitely not equal. So up in that box, you would simply have the symbol of not equal. And again, looking at the problem before we simplified, it wasn't easy to tell. So again, your job is to simplify each side and then be able to tell if it's equal or not. Because we know how to compare just regular basic numbers, correct? So looking at example number 2. Again, same kind of procedure. We're going to follow the order of operations. We're going to simplify. So 9 divided by 3 is where your eyes should go first. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And again, I'm just rewriting everything else I see exactly how it is. Oh, man. That looks a little rough. All right, then we have addition and subtraction. Now, addition and subtraction, we work left to right. They're on equal playing field. So if we see both, we can work left to right. So 28 minus 3 is 25. And then we're going to add on 5. So 25 plus 5 is 30. So this simplified answer here on the left is 30. Looking at on the right, we have our parentheses here first. So 32 plus 8 is going to give us 40. Then we have division of 4 times 3. Same kind of idea here, guys. We've got division and multiplication, which we know order of operations, the same level. And so we just move left to right. So 40 divided by 4 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. So in the second example, when I simplify both sides, I get the same answer of 30. So for the second one, my symbol to compare would simply be the equal sign. All right, so here's a try one on your own. So again, if you're working live with me, I will give you a chance and we can kind of tackle any errors that we find. But go ahead, if you're working and just looking at this in video on your own, go ahead and pause it, work through your problem, and I'll let you know the answers. All right, so working through your problems, you should have found the problem on the left to be simplified down to the value of 4. And the problem on the right, following order of operations, we should have found that it was equal to 10. So again, this would be one that is not equal, so that symbol is an equal sign with a line through. All right, so quick review of your assignment. This is a snapshot of what is going to be asked of you. So to kind of quickly review the directions with you and make sure that you understand. Section 1, Part 1, you're using the order of operations and simplifying your expressions. I just want you to write your answer in the box. If you can show me your work, guys, that would be great. If you can't, I understand. Math online is definitely not the most friendly, and sometimes it's hard to find the symbols that you're looking for. So again, you can simplify through this problem, and I want you to write your answer, or I'm sorry, type your answer in the box. So you've got 4 up at the top. Part 2 is determining if those expressions are equivalent. And I did, so you're looking at this expression on the left, just like we just did in the last example. You'd simplify this answer, and then in the middle, this is the box where I'm looking for your answer. So you would either type in equal or not equal. Now I understand that some of you may not know where the not equal sign is, this little equal sign with the slash. So what you can do is you can highlight it, copy it, and then paste it down into the box, okay? And the same for the second example. So you're going to simplify both sides and compare. This last section, part 3, you're going to match the equivalent expression below. So you would need to simplify all of these expressions down here, and you're going to find the same 4 answers over here as you find over here. So if you simplify through and you find the answer to number 1 is 2, and answer C is number 2, then you would just simply write C. So it's kind of a matching exercise, but the first thing that you do is you Simplify both of the sets of expressions and then match them up. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. Otherwise,